Euclid's Elements, Book 4, Proposition 13. In an equiangular and equilateral pentagon, to inscribe a circle. So let's have a regular pentagon. And the only way I know how to make one that doesn't look terrible is actually to inscribe one in the circle. So like this. All right, so now we can get rid of that. So let this be our equilateral and equiangular pentagon. And our goal is to inscribe a circle that touches each of these 5 sides without cutting it. So if it's equilateral, all these 5 sides are the same length. If it's equiangular, all these 5 angles are equal. So let AB, C, D, E be our regular pentagon. So our first step for constructing a circle inscribed in this is we're going to bisect the angle at C and the angle at D. We can do that with Book 1, Prop 9. So let's do that. Let's bisect this angle and extend it. We'll bisect this angle and extend it. And the point where they intersect, we'll call that F. So now remember, these have been bisected, so this angle and this angle are equal. Let's draw that. So this angle and this angle are equal. Likewise, this angle and this angle are equal, right? Because we bisected them. All right, so let's give those an easier of designation. Let's call this angle 1. Obviously, these are both equal. We'll call this angle 2. And obviously, both of those are equal. And so this whole angle is double angle 1. This whole angle is double angle 2. Okay, so now let's connect FB, FA, and FE. Now let's consider these 2 triangles. So in triangle FBC, so let's consider triangle FBC and triangle FCD. In these 2 triangles, right, we can see that we have a line equal to a line, an angle equal to an angle, and you should be able to see that they have this line in common. So we have side angle side equal to side angle side. So using Book 1, Prop 4, right, our side angle side, we can show that these angles are equal. The third side is equal to the third side, and all the corresponding angles are equal to one another. Namely, when we care about, this angle here is equal to this angle here. Okay, so this is the side between side 1 and 3, 1 and 3, so that angle. So this is the corresponding angle, and this is equal over here to this. So it's probably worth marking that that is angle 2. Okay, so now we know that this angle is equal to this angle, and this whole angle is equal to this whole angle, right? Because all these angles are equal. Therefore, since 2 is half of this angle, 2 is half of this angle. Okay, so which means this other half is equal to 2. And this whole angle, this angle here, has been bisected. Likewise, we can show that all of these angles have been bisected. So this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and this is equal to angle 2, 2 of them, and two of them. Okay, so now from point F, let's draw lines perpendicular to each of the sides. So we're going to draw this perpendicular, this perpendicular, this perpendicular, this perpendicular, and this perpendicular. It's something we can do from book 1, maybe prop 10, I can't quite remember. So now let's look at these two triangles, right? And so what do we have? We have an angle equal to an angle, right? Another angle, so you know, these two angles are equal, these two angles are equal, and this side is in common. So this should be minus angle, angle, side, equal to angle, angle, side. So using book 1, proposition 26, that's our angle, angle, side proof for the equality of triangles. We can prove that these triangles are equal in all respects. More particularly, we can show that this perpendicular is equal to this perpendicular. And we can use the same thing all the way around. Just like we did this, we can do all the way around and show that all of these perpendiculars are equal. That means if we pick F as our center, and any one of these lengths, so let's call this, where are we here? Let's call this G, H, K, L, and M. So FG, FH, FK, FL, and FM are all equal. So here's what we know. Yeah, we know that the perpendicular, we know that the perpendiculars are equal. We know that FH is equal, so perpendicular FH is the same length as perpendicular FK. And so to all the way around. So all the perpendiculars are equal. Which means if we pick F as our center and any one of these perpendiculars as a radius, that the circle described will go through each one of these points. So let's take FH as our radius. The circle described will go through point K, we'll go through point L, we'll go through point M, and we'll go through point G, H. So let's describe that circle. I say now that we have done what was required to do, and namely to inscribe in our regular pentagon a circle. So I say we've done that. So using F as our center and any of our perpendiculars as a radius, we can describe circle G, H, K, L, M, such that it will pass through each of these points, but more importantly, not cut any of these circles. So I say that this circle will not cut any of these lines, but will merely touch them. So this circle doesn't cut CD at K, it just merely touches. Doesn't cut any of the lines, but only touches. The reason we know that it only touches is that, so let's just take this, let's just blow this up really quick. If this were CD, right, and if our line here, if it came in here and it cut this, so let's say, so this is FK here, so this is FK. If when I drew FK it cut line CD, then we would have a line drawn at right angles to the diameter, which is the tangent line, but it would be falling inside the circle, which we know is impossible according to book 3, prop 16, that this right-angled tangent line will not fall inside the circle. Therefore, it won't do that. Therefore, it will not cut the line. Therefore, it can only touch. Therefore, it's a touching line. Therefore, that's what an inscribed circle is, where the circumference touches each of the lines of the figure in which it's inscribed without cutting it. So therefore, we've done it. Therefore, our circle, GHKLM, is inscribed in a regular pentagon. And that's what we were supposed to do, so we can conclude our construction proof with QEF.